year is about 365. So month to month can vary a little bit, but usually for a year long, we do about 365. They're here till they find a home. Some animals are here longer than others. We had a cat adopted out last week that had been here since January, so over 9 months. And Roxy, the one dog, has been here since June. This is Sassy's been here only a few weeks. She's one of our newer ones as well. Longest as far as kitties up front, but she's only been here about 3 weeks. So. She showed up at somebody's house as a stray, and they of course couldn't keep her, so they brought her here, and we got her picture out, and of course nobody reclaimed her, so we've had her taken care of, and she came up in the adoption for her, and we're just looking for a good home for her. She was pretty healthy when she came in. We do vaccinations right away when they come in, and worming and flea and tick preventative on all the animals when they first come in. And then about the time she came in adoption for, we actually had her spayed. So she's been spayed already, so a little scar that's healed up already. Otherwise, she was a pretty healthy kitty, so we haven't had to do too much out of the ordinary, but the basic stuff that we do with all of them is the vaccinations and worming. She will continue to get vaccinations because she's young, so about every 2 to 3 weeks we'll booster her distemper vaccine. She wasn't quite old enough for her rabies vaccine, so the basic stuff, but at least right now she's healthy and doesn't need any other medications like any type of antibiotics or anything like that. She is on, we feed her all life stage dry food, and so she does well with that. Because she's under 6 months, we don't give canned food. It can kind of upset their stomachs a little bit, so we do stick to just dry food for her. As far as the cat's history, and she's very friendly, so obviously she's been well handled before she came to us. Other cats come in and they're a little less handled, so they're a little shyer, a little more difficult, not quite this cuddly. She's pretty easygoing, so she would fit in anywhere. She does well with dogs and other cats, so kids, she could go with any family, which makes it a little easier to adopt. She's a pretty laid-back kitty. Our adoption procedure for an animal like Sassy, we have a pre-adoption application we will complete. Ask some various questions about their home setting, any other animals they may have in the house. It'll ask about kids. It's kind of a general one, so that if we do an animal that doesn't like kids, we can make sure to address that. And then the procedure, we look at, we do background checks, and if they rent, we make sure the landlord's okay with them having a pet there, that kind of thing. And we make sure that their other animals, if they have others, are current on vaccinations and spayed or neutered already. Roxy came to the Humane Society first in September of 2013 as a stray. She was reclaimed by her family at that time, but because of some health issues that they had in their family over the winter, they gave her away to another owner who wasn't able to keep her, so this spring she came to us a second time as a surrender then in June because he didn't have the time for her. When Roxy came to us, she was pretty healthy, but we did the basic treatment of vaccinating, worming, and flea and tick preventative. Roxy's daily routine, all the dogs are fed at 8 and 4 each day. So in the morning they come in, they let them out to go potty, let them back in to eat, they get to go out and play again. Roxy has a best friend, Blue, so she likes to get a lot of time in the play yard playing with her. We have volunteers that come and she gets walks daily out on the trails, which she really enjoys. Her kennel in the morning when they're out playing in the yard, her kennel gets disinfected every morning. And she gets fresh bedding and fresh toys. Roxy's been pretty resilient. We haven't had any issues with her being kind of passed around a little bit. She's done really well. So she's pretty just much happy-go-lucky moving forward. Doesn't have any baggage, so to speak, from her previous life. When Roxy was first with us, when volunteers would take her out for walks and walk her through the shelter here, she'd come by the cat condo, she would act, they thought, aggressive because she has a very deep voice, so it's kind of confusing. She sounds really mean. She's not. It's the Bulldog and Basset has a deep voice, and they thought she was aggressive or mean towards cats because they thought that's what she wanted to do, was get up to cats. So for a while they had no cats written on her card. And then one day I brought her in the office and there was a cat in the office, and And she did totally great with the cat. She actually really, really likes the cat, so what was perceived initially as she wanted to lunge at the cat and me was she was excited to see the cat want to play. So we learned that we need to try it in a different setting because she actually loves the cat, so she will cuddle with them in the office. So sometimes it's just getting them into a different environment to see how they're going to react. Roxy loves tennis balls when she's out in the yard. And if they're in her kennel and left with her in the kennel throughout the day, she will actually chew them up into tiny pieces and sometimes ingest them. So we don't leave tennis balls in her kennel, but we let her play with them out in the play yard, and she does fine with them there. The future outlook for Roxy and Sassy is very good. Sassy is a great little kitten. I think she'll get adopted quickly and go into a loving home, no problem. Roxy, when somebody does adopt her, is going to absolutely love her because she is a super dog. Great family hasn't been looking for her yet. As I said, she's been here for going on 4 months now. But I'm confident that she will find a home soon, and sometimes it just takes longer to find that perfect family. And she'll be here till she finds that.